Look at this smoothie. Is it gorgeous or what? Now, wouldn't you rather drink a beautiful orange smoothie than a green one? This smoothie is made from papayas and bananas, so don't go away. It's kid tested and they love it. So why are you afraid of eating papaya? Maybe you've had a bad experience with papaya, but if you can grow your own and get them really ripe, they are sweet. They're not nearly as bad as maybe you've experienced before. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make the smoothie, and I'm going to talk about all the quirky, beautiful things about papayas.
All I have not provided.
Just 1 cup of papaya that's in this smoothie will give you all the vitamin C that you need for the whole day, most of the vitamin A that you need, and most of the potassium that you need. I added banana, so you're going to have all the potassium that you need and still most of the vitamin A that you need. Papaya bushes are not only beautiful, but they're quite quirky. And I hope that you'll stick around after I show you how to make this smoothie and learn about all the beautiful, quirky ways of papayas. When you're shopping for a papaya, look for the ripest one you can. If all you can find are green, then bring it home anyway and leave it out on your counter until it starts to turn yellow. And if there's no spots that form on it, that means it's getting overripe, just leave it until it's almost orange. So it'll be a yellow-orange color. Then you're going to split it right down the middle, scoop all those seeds out, and then peel it and cut it into chunks. I lay mine out on a cookie sheet so that they freeze quickly. And then I put them in a Ziploc bag and store them. The papaya that you see in this video has been in my freezer for over 2 years. They're still good. They do have freezer frost on them, but all you've got to do is rinse the frost off and it's still delicious. It doesn't taste like freezer burn at all. I use about 1 cup of papaya and put it into my Ninja. Now you can use a blender or a food processor or another brand of blender. So put your papaya in there first, then add banana. The banana that you see me using here, they're shorter and thicker around than the typical bananas you buy from the store, but either one will work. I'm using Orinoco bananas because that's what I grow. Add the juice of 1 lime, and that's going to also increase your vitamin C, and it gives it a beautiful taste as well. I fill the void with coconut milk, not the canned, it's too strong. Just get the kind that you can find in the dairy case. You could fill up the void with orange juice. That makes a delicious smoothie as well. Then I like to add a little bit of vanilla and about 1 teaspoon of coconut extract. And finally, this is optional, you can add some yogurt. And then all you've got to do, blend it until it's smooth. Now, you're not going to be able to suck this smoothie up through a regular straw, so be sure you get the milkshake width of straws. And now enjoy. I bring this out to the garden quite often. Growing papaya is quite interesting. My first experience with papaya was I bought a papaya from the store, scraped out the seeds, peeled off the skins, and then I buried all that with some other compost materials right in the garden. And a year later, I noticed these little seedlings coming up a year later. And I said, that looks like papaya. Hey, if you want to grow here, you're welcome. Take a break here. I've got to get these snails. This is awful. Look at that. I'm afraid to tilt it too much because I don't want to lose them. That's one thing I do on a daily basis out here in the garden throughout the summer. They're not cute. They will destroy whatever they're on. Got to go step on them. That's life in the garden. So what you see behind me is not a papaya tree. It's actually a plant. It looks like a tree because it has a really thick trunk. At least they're supposed to. I've seen people show their papaya trees on video and they're so skinny and scrawny, but mine are really healthy and strong. Probably because I grow them where I process compost around here a lot. And I do that around the banana trees and papaya trees and also my Seminole pumpkins. They just seem to require a very rich soil, more so than the other vegetables that I grow here. So I transplanted several of the papaya seedlings and they grew up, and I had more papaya than I knew what to do with. So from the time you plant your seeds until the time they get this big is about 6 months. And it's going to take another 4 to 6 months for the papayas to actually start getting ripe. So if you do start growing some papaya, start them as early in the year as you can so that you want to avoid frost and freeze because they will not tolerate either one of those. Here in Central Florida, I do get some frost through usually in January or February and an occasional freeze. By then, I've got all the papaya that I need, but this is slightly protected by the banana trees, which also can't tolerate frost or freeze. The second year, I planted seeds again, and I kept some of the seedlings, and lo and behold, that year, I had 2 different kinds of papaya bushes. Then I began the research. I realized I had a male and a female. The male trees are gorgeous and the flowers smell good too. So the third year, I planted them again, knowing I needed male trees and female trees. And all I got that year were male trees. So I cut them all down, planted again, because I do save seeds back just in case they don't work. And that year, all I got was male flowers. What happened? In the meantime, I've been making smoothies from the papaya that I froze 2 and 3 years ago, and I'm just now running out, so I knew I needed to try again. But what do you know? So I transplanted 3 of them. 2 survived. I planted 1 here and 1 on the other side of these banana trees. The one here took off pretty quick, and the one on the other side is growing, but at a slower rate. And I figure it's because it has more shade than this one. They do love the full sun. Well, it bloomed. But by that time, I knew that you needed a male and a female. It's blooming. I knew it wasn't a male. Now what? Is it just going to be a female? And if it doesn't get pollinated by a male, now I'm going to lose all the little blooms that have little fruit in them. And I decided, well, just in case that other little one is a male, I'm not going to cut this female down, because maybe when the other one, if it's a male, you know, maybe it'll have the opportunity at some point in time to cross-pollinate with my female. But wait, there's a third kind of papaya bush. It's called a hermaphrodite. Now, I'm familiar with hermaphrodite. So what's a hermaphrodite? In the blossom, there's both a female part and a male part. And all they need is a little bit of breeze and they can pollinate themselves. They don't have a male and a female separate flower. They're all both in the same flower. So I wondered, well, maybe this is a hermaphrodite. So I went online and I looked and I looked at YouTube, and I couldn't tell, were these blossoms a female flower or was it a hermaphrodite? I could not find a clear close-up picture of a hermaphrodite flower. Even the University of Florida's pictures weren't up close clear. I couldn't tell for sure by looking at the blossoms because I didn't have a good reference. But here's how I know this is for sure, that this is a hermaphrodite. They haven't dropped their fruit. If a female bud does not get pollinated, then it will just drop off. It can't live. So an example is pumpkins. Pumpkins have both a male flower and a female flower. If the female flower gets pollinated, it's going to survive and it's going to continue to grow into a pumpkin. Now I'm going to have papaya again in just a few months, and I'm really excited about that. Now, if I save the seeds from a hermaphrodite, does that mean from now on I'm going to get hermaphrodites? No. But you know what I'm going to do in the future? I'm going to plant a dozen, and I'm going to let at least 6 survive, so that surely there's going to be 1 male and 1 female out of the 6, and maybe even a hermaphrodite as well. And don't trust those videos that say here's how to separate the male seeds from the female seeds. It's hogwash. Don't trust the videos that say you can turn your male tree into a female tree. That's hogwash. If you were to be successful in that, which is rare, you'll get these little teeny misshapen papayas that aren't worth much of anything. So don't believe that. Just plant extra. Learn from my mistakes. Plant extra. Have at least 6 of them, and surely out of the 6 you'll get 1 male and 1 female. And you know what? Don't turn your nose up to papaya. It's actually quite good. Now, why do I love papaya so much? Probably because my mom made me eat it when I was a little girl. So, and that's not a bad thing. It made me acquire a taste for papaya. And that's why I bought that first papaya in the first place. I was craving papaya. So I bought one and ate it and threw the seeds in my garden. And the rest is history. Thanks for watching. Please give it a green thumbs up. It really does help. And if you want to grow lots and lots of veggies, then go ahead and subscribe. I post something almost every week. I have over 200 videos that you can cruise through and learn how to grow a healthy, organic garden.
Great.